Hey everybody, just thought I would get on here and go through my day-to-day tool bag that I use. So I've got it set up that I've got an install bag as well. So this is just what I would be using on my daily service calls. Of course, got the Vito Pro Pack. I've tried everything out there. They are the best in the industry. Go ahead and we'll start opening it up here and go through what we've got. So flathead, Phillips head. I do use a good bit of Snap-on tools. It's a personal preference. I know that you never recuperate the money back out of them. We have a really good guy in our area, comes by once a week. Anything that I break, he's got it on the spot and he'll replace it for me. Wire strippers, I use these from Knipex. They work really well. Got a lot of different features in there, but they're still convenient. The only downside is the size wire that it can go down to. It doesn't work very well for thermostat wires. So of course I've got the little Kleins right here. These are great. I've had this pair I don't even know how many years. They just work. Got the brush. Of course you saw this in the video the other day. The tubing cutters from Knipex. Love them. They work so good. Only downside, of course, is the size. And I know when heating and air, sometimes you need the small ones. So I also carry the little rigid one as well. Got my Malco 5/16 1/4 inch. You can take these off, put them on the impact. Knipex pliers. If you haven't seen these yet, these are their new ones, like the long reach. Very convenient. They've got a little cutout right here on the end so that you can actually get them. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, like on the head of a screw. Great. Thermostat screwdrivers. I really like this one a lot. Works really good, but then again, I find myself using the little Klein 4-in-1 all the time. Get these at Home Depot. My normal Schrader tool, if I'm not using the top, to change the valve core out whenever it's under pressure. Got that. A little pry bar. Needle nose. Side cutters. These little scissors I started carrying about, 6 months ago. They work good for things. I can get them warranted out if I ever need to. Use them for cutting bubble wrap because that seems to always dull things up really quick. An old Klein 14-in-1 for HVACs, and different, bits that you don't use very often on there with what's left of it. I got this one to replace the 7-in-1 right here. If you haven't picked up one of these, they're not very expensive, but they're very handy. Changing a fan motor and things, you just put it on what size you need, put it out, put it on your impact. Gets the job done a whole lot faster than sitting there with a nut driver or even a ratchet. Something I didn't think I would use, but I would say several times throughout the day, is a pry bar. So this will save your flathead screwdrivers. It's not very big, fit right in your bag. Got a place in the back to strike with a hammer. I carry these crimpers in my bag, but I also have like a low voltage box that I use whenever I'm hooking up new systems, and I've got like the big Klein crimpers in there. I'll go through that on another video one day. Of course, got to have your adjustable wrench. And then something I picked up from Knipex that I didn't think I would use that much, I use them all the time, are these little bolt cutters. So these things are really stout, will cut just about anything you can imagine. On the side of my bag, I've got the Joey pouch. So this works really good just dropping things in on a call that you need to get to quickly. So I've got a little hot stick in there right now. Of course, I've got my Nylog. Shout out to Viper Refrigeration Technologies, one of the best companies in the business. Over here, so I do things a little bit different when it comes to service valves. So, you've always had the service wrench, but what I started noticing is they were slipping on the brass sometimes. So I went to a ratchet, and then I use these from Grip Edge. They've got all different sizes. I don't know if you can see on camera or not, but they've got teeth that'll actually get a bite down in there on the service valve, so no more slipping. Works really good. No issues now since I've went to this. Also, that works really good if you're changing out like a damper motor, the Honeywell, with that Allen head screw that's way up in there. That'll get right in there and get it. Okay, so down to the meter. I keep trying to use a Field Piece meter. Field Piece makes some great products. Of course, I've got their gauges right there in the van that I use all the time. But Fluke is my go-to. So I've used Fluke most of my career. Every time I try to go away from it, I end up right back with Fluke. I've had probably 3 or 4 of their meters. I think I've got 2 right now. They just work. They're just reliable. I just trust them. That is my go-to brand whenever it comes to my voltmeters. On this side, really don't have anything. I just have the square head screwdriver right here to get into panel boxes. Not used very often. This is something I got on Amazon. It's made by a company called Railer. So it's just a magnetic little pad that you can put screws on the side of a unit or furnace. I use that on almost every single call. They're super cheap too. Look them up. And then on the side over here, I bought this. I don't know that I like it, but it just keeps your zip ties held in right there. Of course, for heating season, my flame sensor cleaner. And then I have this little keychain from DeWalt here with all of my different length chucks. They're right there. I don't think chuck's the right word, but you know what I'm talking about. I think that pretty much covers the bag. Got a small magnet here. I had the 5/16, but here's the 1/4 inch, just a small ratcheting box in, open in. These work really good trying to get to tight spots. I don't really recommend this one just because the head is so big it doesn't fit in places very well. Klein makes a better one. The last thing would be my impact. So my entire career has been the Milwaukee M12 for my go-to bag. Of course, I've got the 18 volt stuff if I'm on an install or doing something particular, but my go-to is this. This is the Surge. I update them every couple of years. I don't carry it in my bag anymore because I noticed it added a good bit of weight, and then I'm constantly needing it all the time. So Holstry has this little system right here that you just put on the side of any impact, and then on my belt itself I have a place that it locks into, so it locks in, it doesn't come out. I just keep it on my side, so I just put it in the van, and on each call I just drop it on my side. It's right there. That pretty much covers my bag and my setup. I constantly change it. I change it probably every 6 months to a year. What do you do different? What do you recommend? What are some tools that I don't have that you use every single day? And hopefully you've got some ideas out of my bag that you could use for yourself. Thanks again, guys. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do this, and I hope you have a blessed day.